Jaya Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Pramanandi Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Jiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudire Tashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Seviya Bhagavate Uttama Sloge Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtagi. Hare Krishna. Today. There's some mistake in this slogan number. Actually, we are in
4-4-16.
Yeah, 4-4-16. I couldn't change this one. So apology for that. Today's verse, we are in 4th canto, 4th chapter, 16th verse. So the chapter name is Sadi quits her body. So 16th verse we will recite. Kimva Shivakyamasivam na vidustva anye Brahmadayastum avakriya jathasmasane Tanmalya Bhasmandrakavali Avasat Pishachir Emurdhabir Dadadi Taccharanavasrishtam Kimva Shivakyamasivam na vidustva anye Brahmadayastum avakriya jathasmasane Tanmalya Bhasmandrakapali Avasat Pishachir Ye Murdhabir Dadadi Taccharanavasrishtam. Once more. Kim va Shivakyamasivam na vidhustvo anye Brahmadayastum avakriya jadhasmashane Tanmalya Bhasmandrakapali Avasat Pishachir Ye Murdhabir Dadadi Taccharanavasrishtam. Hare Krishna. Mataji and Prabhuji. Anybody wish to recite?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Kim va Sivakyam asivam na vidustvat anye Brahmadayastam avakirya jatasmasane Tanmalya bhasma nirkapali avasat pisachir Ye murdabir dadati taccharanavashratam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Kim va Vishakhyamavisham na vidustva danve Brahmadayastama stamagvagirya jadaha smashane Tanmalya bhasmanya kapalya vasat pishachair Ye murdhabir dhandi dadati Taccharanavasrishtam. Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Any Madhajis who would like to recite? Otherwise, we'll move towards word to word meaning. Shall we continue, Prabhuji? Word to word meaning?
Yes, Mataji.
Synonyms: Kimva, whether, Shivakyam, named Shiva, Asivam, inauspicious, Navidhu, do not know, Tot Anni, other than you, Brahma Adaya, Brahma and others, Tam, him, Lord Shiva, Avakirya, scattered, Jedha, having twisted hair, Shmashane, in the crematorium, Tat Malya Bhasma Nrikapali, who is garlanded with the human skulls and smeared with ashes, Avasat, associated, Vishachai, with the demons, Ye, who, Murdhabhi, with the head, Dedhadi, place, Tacharana, Avasashtam, fallen from his lotus feet. So, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Do you think that greater, more respectable personalities than you, such as Lord Brahma, do not know this inauspicious person who goes under the name Lord Shiva? He associates with the demons in the crematorium. His locks of hair are scattered all over his body, and he is garlanded with human skulls and smeared with the ashes from the crematorium. But in spite of all these inauspicious qualities, great personalities like Brahma honor him by accepting the flowers offered to his lotus feet and placing them with great respect on their heads. Anybody would like to read the translation once?
Yes.
Yeah, Srikumar Prabhu, you can, please.
Prabhuji,
You can
start,
read, Prabhu, please.
okay, start, Prabhuji. I will continue. I mean, because it's a long purport.
Okay,
so
then purport you can read. Okay, translation. Do you think that greater?
Translation finished.
Do you think that greater, more respectable personalities than you, such as Lord Brahma, do not know this inauspicious person who goes under the name Lord Shiva? He associates with the demons in the crematorium. His locks of hair are scattered all over his body, and he is garlanded with human skulls and smeared with ashes from the crematorium. But in spite of all these inauspicious qualities, great personalities like Brahma honor him by accepting the flowers offered to his lotus feet and placing them with great respect on their heads. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
So it's a very long purport. And Srikumar Prabhuji would like to read the purport, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. I will start from my this thing only.
One paragraph each devotee can read. It's difficulty for a single person.
Okay, I will start. Hare Krishna, Mataji. It's not very big, but okay.
Prabhuji can manage.
Yes, Prabhu.
Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Purport. It is unless to condemn a great person.
Useless.
It is useless to condemn a great personality like Lord Shiva, and this is being stated by his wife Sati to establish the supremacy of her husband. First, she said, "You call Lord Shiva inauspicious because he associates with the demons in crematoriums, covers his body with the ashes of the dead, and garlands himself with the skulls of human beings. You have shown so many defects, but you do not know that his position is always transcendental. Although he appears inauspicious, why do personalities like Brahma respect the dust of his lotus feet and place on their heads with great respect those very garlands which are condemned by you? Since Sati was a chaste woman and the wife of Lord Shiva, it is her duty to establish the elevated position of Lord Shiva, not only by sentiment, but by facts. Lord Shiva is not an ordinary living entity. This is the conclusion of Vedic scriptures. He is neither on the level of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, nor on the level of the ordinary living entities. Brahma is in almost all cases an ordinary living entity. Sometimes when there is no ordinary living entity available, the post of Brahma is occupied by an expansion of Lord Vishnu. But generally, this post is occupied by a greatly pious living entity within this universe. Thus, Lord Shiva's position is constitutionally higher than that of Lord Brahma, although Lord Shiva appeared as the son of Brahma. Here it is mentioned that even personalities like Brahma accept the so-called inauspicious flowers and the dust of the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. Great sages like Mataji, Atri, Bhrigu, and others among the 9 great sages who are descendants of Brahma also respect Lord Shiva in such a way because they all know that Lord Shiva is not an ordinary living entity. In many Puranas, it is sometimes asserted that a demigod is elevated to such a high post that he is almost on the equal level with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the conclusion that Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead is confirmed in every scripture. Lord Shiva is described in the Brahma Samhita to be like curd or yogurt. Curd is not different from milk. Since milk is transformed into curd, in one sense, curd is also milk. Similarly, Lord Shiva is in one sense the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but in another sense, he is not. Just as curd is milk, although we have to distinguish between the two. These descriptions are in the Vedic literature. Whenever we find that a demigod occupies a position apparently more elevated than that of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is just to draw the devotee's attention to the particular demigod. It is also stated in the Bhagavad Gita 9.25 that if one wants to worship a particular demigod, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is sitting in everyone's heart, gives one greater and greater attachment for the demigod, so that one may be elevated to the demigods above. Yanti Deva Vrata Deva. By worshipping demigods, one can elevate himself to the abode of the demigods. Similarly, by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can be elevated to the spiritual kingdom. This is stated in different places in Vedic literature. Here, Lord Shiva is praised by Sati, partially due to her personal respect for Lord Shiva, since he is her husband, and partially due to his exalted position, which exceeds that of ordinary living entities, even Lord Brahma. The position of Lord Shiva is accepted by Lord Brahma. So Daksha, Sati's father, should also recognize him. That was the point of Sati's statement. She did not actually come to her father's house to participate in the function, although before coming, she pleaded with her husband that she wanted to see her sister and her mother. That was a plea only for actually at heart. She maintained the idea that she would convince her father, Daksha, that it was unless to continue being envious
useless to continue.
Daksha idea of her father, Daksha, that it was useless to continue being envious of Lord Shiva. That was her main purpose. When she was unable to convince her father, she gave up the body he had given her, as well as will be seen in the following verses. Hare Krishna. Where Mataji, some correction?
No, thank you so much.
Thank you for giving me a chance. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. We'll recite one last prayers. Jnanadimirantasya jnanancharaşalagiya chashurunmilitam mena tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Swavidam yena bhutale swayam rupa gadamahyam dadadi swapadandikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Udavadagamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakanarikadantanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadudam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahanaralita Sri Vishakha Nidamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namastude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusude Devi Pranamami Hari Priyavancha Kalpadarubhya Kripa Sindhubhya Evaja Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo 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 Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhudale Srimade Jepataka Swamini Namini Namacharya Patai Nidaya Kripa Pradayane Gaurakatha Damadena Tragramatharine Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhudale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namini Namaste Saraswade Deve Gauravani Pracharine Narvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshadarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we are in fourth canto, chapter number 4, named Sati Quits Her Body. So in this entire canto, second chapter begins with Daksha Prajapati. The caption of the chapter is Daksha Prajapati curses Lord Shiva, and the third chapter is the conversation between Lord Shiva and Sati Devi, and this chapter's name is Sati Devi Quits Her Body. So briefly we will see, there is no time actually, but for getting some idea, some new devotees, Yama Mataji also is joined today. She's joining since 2 to 3 days. So for as a brief, I will explain detail about this thing. So in the past chapter, we have seen that Lord Sati Devi, she was too much anxious to go to her father's house to attend a sacrifice, but Lord Shiva was not invited. In the first sacrifice, he was invited, but Daksha Prajapati curses him, and there was a curses and counter curses in between Daksha Prajapati and the Bhudaganas of Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva left that association. Later, even Daksha Prajapati left, and Lord Shiva also left that arena. And after that, there was a conversation between Sati Devi and Lord Shiva, and Sati Devi was arguing with little in a normal woman's way of talking. She was arguing with Lord Shiva, saying that maybe this is because of maybe Daksha Prajapati cursed you. Maybe it's because of your fault also, because you didn't give much obeisances unto him. That's why there was a psychological problem in between you happened. And she was expressing that I would like to go and attend my father's. That second sacrifice also conducted, Brihaspati sacrifice. Bajpayee sacrifice, that there was no invitation for Lord Shiva and Sati Devi. And the third one, that is Brihaspati Sava. In that sacrifices, everybody, she came to know that all the members of the entire universe are about to go to Daksha Prajapati's sacrifice, to attend sacrifice, and they were dressed up like a luxurious way, and they were traveling in aeroplane and all, luxurious aeroplane and all. By seeing all these things, she also became little womanly nature. She also would like to dress up and also would like to go with Lord Shiva. That's why she was arguing. But Lord Shiva was giving so much of principle things that if you are not ready to hear my words as a warning, the future won't be good. Adverse reaction in your home. And saying like that, the last chapter ended. And this chapter onwards, it's Maitreya. Actually, this is the conversation between Maitreya Muni and Vidura. So Maitreya Muni continues saying that here, after giving a warning to Mother Sati, Lord Shiva kept silent because he was watching or seeing the indecision, decision in between her decision. She was too much anxious, and because of that anxiety, for what purpose she was anxious means she wants to go and attend her father's sacrifice, a very big sacrifice, a universal, all her relatives, her parents, and her sisters, 59 sisters, and all sisters, husbands, and children also attending this sacrifice. So it's obviously a woman would like to, because since long time Sati Devi never been to her house. So because of that, she was too much anxious. But here she was afraid of the warning she got from her husband, Lord Shiva. So because of that, she was a little anxious also. And here he explaining us, she is just like a pendulum. So pendulum moves from one side to another. Same way she was going inside the room, here coming out. Same like in wind, how this swing going here and there. Same way. And after that, she was she was seeing Lord Shiva in a very great anger, as if she was about to blast Lord Shiva. And she was thinking that husband is an uncommon husband. He's attached to his wife's beauty, or because in material world, because if a wife is too much beautiful and is giving nice words and all, definitely husband will allow her to go anywhere. But here he's acting like an uncommon husband. She's detached from all material, all the material things and all. So he was not at all attracted towards her beauty and all, and that's why he is continuously saying that it's not good for you to go and attend the sacrifice. But she was thinking that he's merciful. Lord Shiva is merciful to all the living entities, including Bhutaganas and all. As we all know that he's the in charge of all Tamoguna people. So he's merciful to all the living entities, including Pishaj and all ghosts, all demons and all living entities. Principal associates, all we know, Nandi and all, Bhutaganas and all. Why he's not merciful to me? That's thinking. And he left that place he left his her husband because Shiva is considered as Ardhanarishak, because he gave a correct position for Sati Devi. And in material world also, without a husband, wife is incomplete, and without a wife, husband is incomplete. Same way, in spiritual world also the same thing is there. But she left same like acting like a less intelligent woman. She left the arena, and after that, Lord Shiva, he's very doing things in an apt way. He sent, without the information of Lord Shiva, all the Bhutaganas, they accompanied Mother Sati Devi, and they provided very good arrangements, and they made her to sit on a bull, and she was too much attached to a bird, and that also they provided, and they were accompanied Mother Sati Devi. Here we can understand that even though Sati Devi was instructed by Lord Shiva not to go, and she was not ready to listen to the warning, but here without information, that's the greatness of Bhutaganas, because they are ready to accept Shiva as a spiritual master. So spiritual master, what is the disciple's duty? Without saying any single word, we have to follow the spiritual master's order. So here they are doing the right thing. They accompanied Mother Sati Devi, and Mother Sati Devi reaching the arena. There she could see all the Brahmanas and the great sages were sitting over there, and they were chanting Vedic hymns. But in this material world, we are so lucky. There is no need of any more sages or more accessories or more this thing, because it's Kali Yuga. We don't find any right Brahmana to chant Vedic mantra. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, we are so lucky that we can chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra without any all these accessories. Simply we have to take up the step of chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and attentively and very carefully we can do, and we can get all the sublime result even by simply chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So, and there but what the thing happened is that nobody there, because all the Brahmanas and sages were so much afraid of Daksha Prajapati. Because of that, they couldn't even give more attention, or they couldn't even, they just neglect her. So by seeing that, she felt very angry. And in fact, her mother and the sisters, they came and they gave a nice attention to Mother Sati, but she was not happy in that, because she was the pet like in front of Daksha Prajapati, pet daughter. So she was expecting from Daksha Prajapati, father's side, but her. By seeing that, she felt very angry, and all the Puda Pishajas accompanied with her. They were about to attack Daksha Prajapati, but she made all of them silent by giving proper. She stopped them attacking, and she started saying that. Because so many principles she started saying as the position of Lord Shiva, exalted position of the of Lord Shiva, saying that he is among all the living entities, he is the most loved, and he does not have any rival, and he does not have any he is not dear to very dear. He is not dear to anybody more, and he is not having any also. Same way Krishna says Samavan Sarvabhuteshu, he is not envious to anyone, he is not partial to anybody. Same way Lord Shiva is same, he does not have more dear, and he is not envious towards only you. She is pointing out towards Daksha Prajapati, saying that you are like a lowest among the human being, and you only could show envy towards husband, because he is a great more. Here Srila Prabhupada also is mentioning that he is more great than the father of but he is more, his position is above all living entities, and such great personalities you have insulted. But in material world, what is happening? The people who is too much materially engrossed, and such kind of people, they are reciting Namah Shivaya. But the thing is that when we chant Namah Shivaya, then Lord Shiva is so merciful. He will make us understand that we are not this material body, we are soul. But after that, we have to go more and more. We have to understand that Lord Shiva is giving that understanding that Aham Brahmas, but we have to go more and more, and we have to gain that Krishna consciousness that Aham Brahmasmi is not enough. We have to understand that we are our eternal position. We are the servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Jivera Surubhai, Nityera Krishna Dasa. So, and after that, we have to do devotional service. So she's saying that the word Shiva means so auspicious. From the word she is claiming that like he is too much auspicious. Outside external things are not we cannot judge a person by seeing external things. So Shiva can purify anybody, and Shiva is always pure. In fact, here it's mentioned that he is wearing snake garland, and he is in a crematorium. He always smeared his body with ashes and all. He does not have a proper house and all. He does not take bath every day. He's having matted hair and all. That is not the like materially. If you are saying that this is actually spiritual things, this every day we have to take bath and all. We should maintain our hygiene and all. But Shiva is always pure. He is detached from all this material, this thing. That's why he's more attached to Lord Krishna. He's chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That's why he's in Vishuddha Sattva, because he's chanting Vasudeva Shabdam. He's always chanting Krishna's name. That's and he's continuous in this verse. We can see he continuously trying to establish the like not in a sentimental way, but in a factual way. She's trying to establish the exalted position of Lord Shiva. Why? She is reminding her father Daksha Prajapati, saying that my husband Lord Shiva is an exalted personality, above the position of Lord Brahma and all other living entity. She is thinking that he's hoping that by this reminder, Daksha Prajapati would give up his envy towards Lord Shiva. So she is presenting so many principles, and it's actually she is doing these things as a duty, because she is the wife of Lord Shiva. Her duty is to establish these principles to make us also understand, and to Daksha Prajapati the exalted position of her husband. But here we can see Daksha Prajapati is not ready to listen to her, even though she presented so many things, but Daksha Prajapati could not give up his envious nature. So envy is such kind of a disease. It's like it's a disease, like it's continuously goes on increasing. So same like we are saying lust is also in divorce service, lust is also not good. When we are envious towards other person, everything will be like in a clouded way. So lust is also making our intelligence cloud, and here envy is also making our intelligence too much cloud. This in Bhagavad Gita, I think 2.61, Dhyayedo Vishayam Pumsa Sarvas Dhyayedo Vishayam Pumsa Sarvasteshu I forgot that slogan. Sangha samjayade kama kama krodho bajayade. That means we are contemplating on sense objectives, where we will develop lust towards that, and if lust is not fulfilled, that means then definitely their krodha will develop. Same way, envious nature also, it's not good in a devotional service. So, because everywhere in Krishna conscious, what we are saying, that we have to associate, or we have to keep Krishna in our center, so that by constantly chanting, constantly hearing, constantly reading Srila Prabhupada's book and all, we can develop a love towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because envy, every day we are hearing that because this envy and lust is the two main enemies of our bhakti. So we are every day or every reading Srimad Bhagavatam or hearing lectures, we are hearing that envy is the cause of everything. Envy is the cause of fall down. But impersonalist and Mayavadis, lust is the cause of everything. Lust is the cause of fall down. Everything we are hearing every day. But this lust, impersonalist and Mayavadi can overcome this lust, but they cannot overcome this. They fail to overcome envious towards Supreme Personality of Godhead, because they cannot, because Krishna is a person. They cannot understand, they cannot accept that Krishna is a person. So if they are accepting Krishna as a person, definitely they have to understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the cause of everything. He is the master of everything. He is the enjoyer of everything. Cause of me is also, he is the cause of me and my existence. So they have to surrender unto Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they are not ready to accept the the personal existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that always they are having a subtle envy towards Supreme Personality of Godhead as the personal existence. So that envy is not good. So in devotional service, we have to be very careful. This envy is towards anybody, even towards any Kanishta Adhikari also, that will cause a fall down in our because envy, lust, everything is present in our heart. So if our heart is not pure, we cannot. It's Chedo Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadavak Nirvay. Our heart is, we have to clean our heart by constantly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. How we are, if a mirror is filled with dust, we can clean the mirror by wiping it nicely. Same way, if our heart is filled with any dust like envy or lust or anything, by continuously chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we can simply clean our heart. So after, then only, if sadhaka, we are in sadhaka position, so sadhaka bhaktas, so we cannot even claim that we are away from envious or we are away from lust. If everything is there, but constantly hearing or constantly following the scriptures, we can we can slowly, gradually, we can wipe out all these anarthas from our life. So in devotional service, what we are saying every they're saying that devotional service, we have to very careful about all these anarthas, like all these aparadhas, like Vaishnava aparadha. And it's very important, we have to give more attention towards Vaishnava aparadhas. It's because Krishna, he can tolerate all other aparadhas like Nama aparadha, and doing seva aparadha, and doing some jiva aparadha, killing of other living entity. That also all coming under great aparadhas, and we should be very careful, pay attention, more attention towards Vaishnava aparadha, because Vaishnava, totally, if we are understanding about Krishna consciousness, that means it's a perfection of personalism, because we are considering Krishna as a person, we are doing more devotional service and all. So in that all, Vaishnavism is that is the greatness of Vaishnava, because Vaishnava etiquettes, giving more obeisance to other personalities, other living entities, especially Vaishnavas, not only Vaishnavas, all other living entities, even karmis and all jnanis or karma kandis also, they are also need some due attention or obeisances. So we have to be very careful of all these things. Vaishnavism only teaches about how to take care of other Vaishnava, because Krishna, these all the living entities are the energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So keeping envious towards them, this is the leading path towards hell. We cannot improve our devotional service, or we cannot gain Krishna prema. So we can understand that Krishna, as if we say Krishna is an absolute, he's absolute. So absolute means, it does not mean that Krishna himself, Krishna's energy, because material world and spiritual world, both, everything is the creation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we can see the variegatedness of material world. We can see different kind of living entities, moving and non-moving, different kind of animals, and so many trees, so many, like 6 kinds of species we can see. It's 84 lakhs of species, 6 kinds are there. And in spiritual world, we can see that so many Vaikunthas are there. So many Vaikunthas, and each Vaikunthas in Narayana, Lord Narayana is present. So many variegatedness are there. So Krishna is created. There is a purpose. He know that purpose, why he created. Because according to karma, each and every personalities, they are taking different birth. So he created demigod, he created human beings, he created animals, everybody he created according to that, and he is giving more respect to all of this creation, because he is respecting their free will. There's somebody is doing worship of demigods, somebody is doing worship of Pidras and all. And Krishna says in 9.25, I think, he is here also says that if demigods, if we are worshipping, we will go back to demigod abode, and if you worship Pitas, then we will go to Pitraloka. And Krishna is giving that much, all facility, he is facilitating all arrangements for our AC journey to, if we are worshipping demigods, AC journey to demigods, because he is respecting our free will. So Krishna, if he is respecting free will, but we hear Daksha Prajapati, because he's Lord Shiva is an exalted personalities, more above the position of Brahma and all other living entity. And even how we can understand the greatness of Lord Shiva, because scriptures are saying the greatness of Lord Shiva. That means we have to follow scriptures. We have to respect Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva is also Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. We have to understand his position as a great Vaishnava. So each, even demigods, according to their position, we have to respect. And Shiva as a great Vaishnava, we have to give respect. But Daksha Prajapati fails to give more attention or more obeisances to, give more obeisances to Lord Shiva. In fact, he insulted him, he cursed him. So that is the, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Sikshashtadam, he's saying that Trinadabi Sunijena Tarorabi Sakshana Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sudahari. That means here Daksha Prajapati, he forgot to wear that necklace of Trinadabi Sunijena, because he failed to give a like he is acting like a materially engrossed personality. He is puffed up. Because of that, he couldn't see the greatness, or he couldn't see that in Lord Shiva's position, or Parama Krishna is sitting inside, residing inside each and every living entity. He couldn't even see that Paramatma inside, because he was thinking that his position, he can be able to neglect each and every living entity. But our position or our any greatness, we cannot use our all these things to avoid or to like make other living entity inferior. We cannot think like that. We are using our position. Here Daksha Prajapati being the Prajapati, because Lord Brahma also, after inserting Lord Shiva, he made him again Prajapati of the entire world, and he started creating all the, he helped in progeny, increasing the progeny. Because of that position, he couldn't even recognize, he was considering Lord Shiva as a like my son-in-law. And it was like because of the continuous pressure of Lord Brahma, he gave his daughter to Lord Shiva. That from that time onwards, he was keeping envious towards Lord Shiva. He couldn't even, because here we can see in Chaitanya Charitamrita and different scriptures how when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was personally present in this material world, and when he visited the different temples of South India, and even he visited demigods temple also, because he was giving respect because he never said that I won't go and I won't take darshan of demigods, because he was considering that this is all the energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna means absolute, means he is having different variegateness, like different energies and all. We have to respect each and every energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the greatness of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all Vaishnavas. So Vaishnavism like teaches about the humility, because this is the perfection of the personalism. Is Vaishnavism is the perfection of the personalism. When we are thinking about personalism, means definitely the humility is coming. So when humility or humbleness is coming, means we can give our obeisances, due obeisances wherever it is necessary. We won't fail to give, because we are not thinking that I have to get respect. But here Daksha Prajapati, he is thinking that I have to respect, get respect, and he forgot about give and take respect. He was not giving much respect. In fact, he was cursing, and he failed to give that humility. So Vaishnavism only, it's a great ground, it's a vast ground. It's teaching so many nice things about humility and how to behave and how to consider other Vaishnava, and that also is teaching that all Vaishnavas are not equal. Equalism is something different, because some Kanishta Adhikaris are there, Madhyama Adhikaris are there, and the Uttama Adhikaris are there. They are in different, because their level is something different. So according to each and every living entity, according to each and every Vaishnava, we have to give a respect accordingly. So only communism, they are like artificial equalism they are giving. They are saying that everything is equal, nobody is considering equalism. How can it is possible? Because in the material world, Krishna created this material world according to the karma of the living entity. So according to their karma, they are taking different positions. Somebody is like in Chaturvarnya system also we can see Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So in the material world also, according to their position, they are getting respect, and we are giving respect accordingly. So greatness we have to see. So here Daksha Prajapati couldn't even see the greatness of Lord Shiva, because he is empowered by the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here Srila Prabhupada is also empowered living entity. He is empowered he empowered Krishna's energy, especially he is empowered in Srila Prabhupada. That's why he could even he is the founder of this ISKCON, and we are sitting here and we are listening to all lectures and all, we are reading, and we are we got this Krishna consciousness, and that's why we have to understand that according to each and everybody's position, or according to each and everybody's greatness, we have to respect other living entity. Here he is saying that Mother Sadidevi is saying that Lord Brahma is actually, he is the father, but he is above, Lord Shiva is above his father, because when Krishna came into this material world, taking mother, the position given to Mother Devaki and Vasudeva, his parents. So same way Lord Shiva is like that, only he took birth from Lord Brahma, but he is above. So Mother Devaki and they are also exalted personalities, but they are not above Supreme Personality of Godhead. Same way here Lord Brahma is the father, but Lord Shiva is above. But we have to understand that we have to respect each and every energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we have to respect Lord Shiva also. Here what Lord Sadi is saying that she is saying to Daksha Prajapati that you have to give more obeisances to Lord Shiva. But we as a Vaishnava, we have to understand that above Lord Shiva is actually it's a qualitative incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We can say Lord Shiva is a qualitative incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But we have to say in Shiva Purana, Shivaji, he himself says that out of all worship, the topmost worship is worship of Lord Vishnu. So and that means that Aradhanam Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhyam Param. So that we have to understand. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but that does not mean that we have to neglect all his energies and all. We have to respect each and every energy and each and every living entities, even though they are karmis or they are karma kandis or they are lower species. and all these things. So, and here Daksha Prajapati is doing the great mistake of Vaishnava Avaratha. So, Vaishnava Avaratha is considered as mad elephant act. So, if mad elephant is entering into a garden, he is simply rooting, is taking away all the roots of the trees. Same way, if we are doing Vaishnava Avaratha, what is happening? What all spiritual account is we are possessing, it can simply destruct all our account simply by doing Vaishnava Avaratha. So the dust of the lotus feet of great personalities, that is that can make us elevate. Same way, that dust also, if you are doing Vaishnava Avaratha, that dust also cause of our destruction. So here Lord Shiva is acting as a spiritual master. So spiritual master, what he is doing, he is seeing the tiny spark, because we are the part and parcel. Same like we can consider Krishna as a fire and we are part from that fire. So Krishna, by spiritual master, how he is doing, he is seeing the tiny spark of fire in our conditioned souls, and but he is ready to fan that spark so that he can make that tiny spark as just like a fire. So I am also an insignificant soul, and my great Guru Maharaj, he had seen some spark in me, and he is so merciful, and he sparked something. That's why I am sitting here. He considered me as his daughter, even though, and my husband as a son and my daughter as a grandson. So we have to follow the spiritual master's order. But here Mother Sadi Devi, she failed to follow the spiritual master's order. We have to consider that we have to see the good qualities. So Lord Shiva is seeing the good qualities of each and every person. But Daksha Prajapati, he failed to see. He is continuously seeing the bad qualities in it. By seeing the external features of Lord Shiva, he evaluated him, and he irrespected him, and he cursed him. And Lord Shiva's qualities, that he only sees the qualities, good qualities in each and every personalities, and he magnifies simple little quality also, he magnifies in a great way. That is the greatness of spiritual master also. By seeing the simple spark or simple qualities or very tiny qualities in each and every conditioned soul, he's seeing that good qualities in them, and he tries to magnify it in a great way. That is the greatness of spiritual master. And here Daksha Prajapati failed to do so. That's why Mother Sadi Devi, even though Daksha Prajapati is her father, he condemned him by saying so many, introducing so many principles in front of all the sages and all the great personalities sitting over there. He condemned him, and she condemned all the sacrificial process because of Daksha Prajapati's envy towards Lord Shiva. So he was unable to forgive. He was not ready to forgive Lord Shiva. He was simply seeing Lord Shiva as a lowest among all living entities because he is wearing all these kinds of snakes and all. He is in a crematorium and not taking bath properly and all these things. Seeing the external features, and he judged him like a normal personality. So we should be very careful in our life also. So seeing Vaishnava, we have the right to give respect even to each and every living entities, because we should see Krishna is sitting as Paramatma in each and every living entities. And for our further progress in Krishna consciousness, we have to avoid lust and envy. So envy and lust is the leading path towards hell. So we should be very careful in that case. We should be very careful in our life. We have to give more attention to us, and we have to give wherever it is necessary to give obeisance to other living entity. We should give it out, because humility is the greatness of Vaishnavism. We are getting more and more knowledge, and how we have to respect others, that Vaishnavism is teaching us. So being a great Vaishnava, Lord Shiva, we should have, or Daksha Prajapati also, she forgot to give a respect. That is the drawback happened from Daksha Prajapati's side, and because of that, being Dakshani, she also exhibited more anger towards Daksha Prajapati, and she was not ready to follow her husband, actually her husband is acting as a Lord, as a spiritual master for Mother Sati, but she couldn't even follow her spiritual master's order. That consequences we can see in the next verse, that she quits her body because of she manifested fire, and she quits her body because she couldn't even tolerate the blasphemy of Lord Shiva, which Laksha Prajapati shown to him. She couldn't even tolerate, and she is giving up his body. That we can see in the next verse. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Anything, Prabhuji, please from your side add more and more points, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you very much. It was very, very wonderful, very detailed. You have explained. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, all these Leelas, they are very transcendental personalities. We may see like they are like having kind of material issues, like husband and wife fighting, arguing. But of course, this is all for us to learn the lessons. So, Mataji wonderfully explained many of the lessons. So, whole Srimad Bhagavatam is about learning lessons from these pastimes. So, I think that is very, very important. And not after learning the lessons, we need to implement those, whatever the lessons learned in our practical life, so that it will help us into progress in our devotional life. So these are the two main objectives: learning the lessons and then implementing those lessons learned in our life, so that we will be cautious of this material world pitfalls. Also, simultaneously, we can progress in our devotional life. So thank you very much, Mataji. So we understand from this purport about the glorious position of Lord Shiva. Very clearly, Srila Prabhupada says that in one aspect, Lord Shiva is the supreme personality of Godhead, but again, the original source is like a curd or yogurt. That means the original is from Lord Krishna. The original candle, we can say, is from Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam. So that is also we are understanding from this. Second, also, in sometimes in some scriptures, some demigods is being glorified as the supreme. Srila Prabhupada gives the answer. That is true. That is also because of Krishna, because Krishna is sitting as Paramatma within our heart, and he is making our faith stronger to the demigod, so that we will be elevated to the demigod abode after the death. So whatever, but when we worship Krishna, we go to the spiritual world, which is the Vaikunta or Golak Vrindavan, like that. So this is what we are understanding from today's purport, and there are many more points also. Mataji took very elaborate, and even the previous.
Yes. From the
Yes,
purport
yes.
itself, so many points are there.
So many points are there.
Position and
Yes.
Brahmaji,
Yes.
even a normal living entity can be elevated as Brahma's position, but Lord Shiva's position, he can only take his position. Nobody can take, because
Yes,
even
yes, that is also an
Lord
important
is
point.
also taking the position of Lord Brahma. Lord Krishna is also sometimes act as Lord Brahma, but Shiva's position in each and every
Nobody
universe
can take.
only can possess that position.
Yes.
That is the great.
Yes, Mataji, very important point.
Lord Shiva,
Lord
we
Shiva's
respect him, but we should worship the Supreme Personality of God. That we should understand.
Yes. That is very important, because he is the topmost Vaishnava. So Lord Shiva's position, no Jivatma can take, but Lord Brahma's position is taken by the very pious Jivatmas. Sometimes Lord Vishnu takes the position of Lord Brahma if there are no qualified Jivatmas to take that position. So that is also there. And this whole thing is how Sati Devi condemns her father. So that is very important here. And I think continuing this one, I think how Mother Sati, she gives up her body, that will be coming in the coming verses. And also we request other devotees who are assembled here to add or any doubts or comments on this today's verse. Please feel free to express it here. Hare Krishna. No questions, no comments. It's a very detailed purport today.
Srila Prabhupada's purport is very easy to understand. No need actually explanation, but for our verification, we
Yes.
are.
Srila Prabhupada's purport, as you said, Mataji, rightly, it is kind of self-explanatory.
Yes, Prabhuji,
But the
right.
advantage we get in when we are studying together, it will go inside our mind, into our depth of our mind, we can say. Because, see, if you read this alone, maybe we will not go this much depth. We just read once, like we read and then we go to the next verse.
Yes,
But when we are sitting in the class, we go like, you might have referred a lot of points related to this. We also know like that. We go in depth. And also it is said that the Srimad Bhagavatam should be always read in the association of devotees. Rather than reading alone, it should be read in the association of devotees. So that two things are very, very important. That's why this Nityam Bhagavata Seva will be very helpful for the devotees who are attending, because we are reading together. We are trying to understand the things together. So in that way, that's will be very beneficial for the speaker as well as beneficial for the hearer. Both are getting benefit. Both are getting purified. So that is the main point.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Yes.
Mataji. You've taken good time to understand this verse, purport, and explained it very nicely. And I completely believe that nobody has any doubt on this. Very clear. Hare Krishna. Shri Kumar Prabhu, you would like to highlight something?
Thank you.
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji, it was a wonderful class explaining
Hare
in
Krishna.
the verse plus how in way forward in Krishna consciousness, how we can proceed by respecting Vaishnavas and following the spiritual masters' instructions. That's very important. So Mataji explained it very well, clearly. Very good. Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes. And we have to again keep always in our mind that Krishna will tolerate even the insult to him. But Krishna will never tolerate an insult to his pure devotees. So that is Vaishnava. So and the Lord Shiva is also a very exalted Vaishnava.
Yeah,
so
even to spiritual masters, I mean, even if you are giving insulting the first importance is Vaishnava.
Krishna will
in Aparatha. More than more than of spiritual master. That is what. So,
purport itself is giving saying that purport that we can tolerate the hot in summer. If hot summer, if we are walking through a beach, we can tolerate the hot on our head, but we cannot tolerate the hot which we are feeling on our feet. That same way, Krishna can tolerate if we are offending towards Krishna. If we are any offenses, Krishna can tolerate, but he cannot tolerate if we are offending any Vaishnava. So the purport itself is giving the points, so many points.
Yes.
Yeah,
very wonderful, beautiful purport by Srila Prabhupada.
When I saw this purport, I was like, before reading, I thought, oh, this is very big purport. But after reading, I found it is like a self-explanatory, no need of any discussion and all. But as Prabhuji said, it's a purification and also to understand, and we will go deep in, and we will refer more and more points.
And also we will relish when we read with devotees. We'll relish that purport, and that is also there. So,
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. So I'd like to thank Mataji for her hard work in preparing and explaining us, enlightening us on this today's verse and purport. So let us all enthusiastically thank Mataji and her family to progress well in Krishna consciousness. We'll chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times for her. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpataribhascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta kodi Vaishnavavrinda ki jai. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, सर्वतीता माता जी की जय. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, thank you all. So we will wind up today's session. Mataji, it's okay. We'll wind up now.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Yeah. So today we will have Srimad Bhagavatam.